Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Evan, and I am the CEO of Checkbox. And they definitely put us as the last presentation because we get to talk about the most exciting subject of today, which is compliance. So compliance actually costs us globally $1.2 trillion a year. And it's because we actually manage it through manual processes like this. So we're reading through legislation or policies and manuals. And for the ones of us who are a bit more tech savvy, we'll convert processes like this into Excel spreadsheets that look like this, right? So very familiar to a lot of you in the audience, I'm sure. At Checkbox, we actually take processes like this and we turn them into this. It's software that walks you through the compliance or regulatory processes, question by question. Depending on your factual scenario or what you select, it takes you down a specific path of a decision tree. You can also build in tips, which allow you to build in definitions or examples or links to your knowledge base internally and comments along the way as well. But you can also build in dynamic bespoke forms as well as tables. Sorry, the clicker's doing the clicker thing. Also tables that automate calculations, and at the end, an audit trail, a transcript that tracks every single question you've been asked, responses and comments as well. And it's all recorded and kept in the platform. You can also generate completely bespoke automated documentation. So this can be from contracts through to reports and letters as well. But the cool thing is that what you've just seen is not Checkbox itself. Checkbox instead, this is simply an example of software that you can build using Checkbox without touching a single line of code. Because Checkbox instead is a platform that allows you to use drag and drop alone to convert these regulatory processes into end user applications that you can white label as your brand. So it looks like this. You can drag in a block just to amend or introduce content. And what this means is that software that typically will cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars and months to build will now only take days and sometimes even hours. So you can see here that we can introduce the content and tips, as I've done before, in a very intuitive way, and introduce logic and rules just by dragging and dropping the routing. Now this box is currently red because we have a real-time error validator as well. It detects errors as you build. And so if I go and connect the start screen, it'll go and resolve that error. That's great. And I'll go hit the preview screen to see how the application is coming along. So there's the question I just introduced. And if I'm happy with this, I can then go and deploy the application. I can publish it. You can see we have a versioning system as well. And upon publishing, you can also completely configure the access control for the end user. The users can then access the apps by logging in via SSO, single sign-on, or authentication. Or you can even embed it on a website like this, where it takes you straight into the assessment. Now, for the end user, they can also always resume the process later on and continue it. And at the end of the process, you can also automate the firing off of emails that have completely tailored content as well as the reports attached. As an admin, I get access to a dashboard, which allows me to also download all of the data that has been captured throughout all the assessments. We actually work with tier 1 advisory companies globally, as well as big law firms, insurance companies, and in-house legal and compliance teams as well. And we help them from automating simple things like an NDA process right up to international financial reporting standards and privacy breach assessments. And this is not just in Australia, where we come from, but also in Hong Kong as well. Along the way, we've collected quite a few awards, also not just in Australia, but also here in Hong Kong and also in Singapore. So, in terms of the program, what have we achieved? Well, in just 12 weeks, we've been able to work with 13 different financial institutions and had over 20 meetings, which landed us to progress with 5 proof of concepts. And these span across document automation, self-service knowledge management, and assessment and decision tools as well. So a very simple example is imagine your multi-jurisdictional events incident reporting. Right now you have a manual process where your employees may be bombarding the legal compliance team trying to understand whether something needs to be reported, and then there's a big kind of manual risk process that probably happens in Excel. with a manual document report being generated for the regulator. Using Checkbox, you can generate a self-service application for your employees to actually do the risk assessment themselves. You build in the logic in the background so they're compliant every single time. And then at the very end of the process, all the documentation reports are generated for you, and the emails and notifications fired off automatically. So this is a great outcome, but we've learned a lot as well. We've learned with working with you amazing partners that we should go deep and not broad. And what this means is, for us as a platform, we can solve so many problems. But that's also a double-edged sword, because what we've learned is to focus on delivering an end-to-end solution for specific solutions. And the second thing is we want solutions. That's what you guys told us. That whilst, again, we have a platform, you guys have specific problems that require specific solutions. And so in terms of our roadmap, we've actually hired an additional 11 employees in the past 3 months, specifically within our solutions delivery team. So this is really working with FIs in close partnership to go and develop those solutions on our platform. We also learned that we need to develop more kind of dashboards, integrations, and workflow features to really deliver end-to-end. We've actually just finished delivering the integrations feature just this week, and dashboards and workflow are already in development. And I do have to thank the Accenture team and, again, the partners here today, because from your advice, we were actually able this month to successfully close our first Hong Kong enterprise client, which is a massive foot in this market, and one that we'll be investing in a lot more, as you can see on our roadmap next year as well. So I want to leave you with this. Right now, you have a lot of compliance problems, and the way you're solving it is through people. And as regulation grows, well, you hire more people and more people. But that's the reason why compliance workers and spend is increasing in all of your organizations. What about those of you who may have very limited resources as well? So the solution here is to design a compliance process to adopt technology that's going to be accurate, efficient, yet simple. In other words, you're looking for a solution that is compliance at scale. And if you're interested in how you actually build this culture of compliance at scale, then please come and talk to me after the event. Reach out for a live demo, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about all things compliance. Thank you.